Welcome to a Kairos Moment podcast, helping small business owners and entrepreneurs save time and money through tips and strategies. I am your host, Sean Heineman, and you can find my website at kairosocial.com. That's with a K. How are you doing, everyone? Thanks again for inviting us into your ear gates. I'm excited once again for another Kairos moment, and you're in for a treat today because I have the one and only Brandy Butler.
Hey, good morning, Sean. Good morning, everyone.
How are you doing this fine Saturday morning, Brandy?
I am excellent.
Great. And today we're going to discuss taking the entrepreneurial leap. And I know Brandy is crushing it online because I see what she's doing and I receive her emails. I'm on her subscriber list. And you maybe want to sign up too, because this woman she's the truth when it comes to social media. And you're going to find out today on taking the entrepreneurial leap. So first of all, Brandy, tell the listeners who you are and what you do.
Well, first off, Sean, thank you for that glorious introduction. That means the world to me coming from you because you are a social media beast. So kudos. So I feel good now. We're kicking this off right.
That's right.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm Brandy Butler. Here with me, I do not know what was going on with my phone and blah. But anyway, my name is Brandy Butler, and I am a online strategist. And I help my clients to magnify their message with podcasting and content marketing.
Awesome. Yes, Brandy. I met Brandy. I was listening to one of your podcasts. I believe you had Lamar Tyler on.
Yes, that is how you and I connected, I think, the first time.
Yeah, so we met like through a podcast or iTunes or something like that. So yeah.
That's what's so great about social. You end up connecting with people and then they end up becoming close colleagues of yours. It's cool.
Yes, most
you
definitely.
Really can create your own life. That's
yes.
What I love about it.
Yes, right. I got to come out there. You in St. Louis, right?
Uh-huh.
Got to come out to the Lou one day.
Well, I'm trying to come out to
Arizona.
Where in Arizona are you?
I'm in Phoenix.
Okay, I may be coming out there. There's some Infusionsoft stuff going on out there that I want to come to. So
yes,
we'll probably meet up sooner rather than later.
Yes, I get to take some pictures with Brandy. I get more likes on Instagram. What book would you recommend to the aspiring entrepreneur about social media?
About social media? Well, okay, let me say it's about social media. Jab, right hook would be a good bite-sized nugget.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it's like a comprehensive Bible. Actually, no, you know what's even better, even though some people may find it a little bit outdated, is Gary Vaynerchuk's first book. What's the name of it?
Crush It.
That's right. Crush It. Actually, if I was someone who was starting from the beginning, I would start with Crush It.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jab, Right Hook it's a cool book. I like Crush It better. I know Jab, Right Hook is a little more modern, but I like Crush It better. And then if they wanted to understand email marketing, then I would recommend Ryan Dice, his book called The Machine, and it's all about email marketing. That book is a beast.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's very plain and clear and gives you exact steps and templates on what to use. So Ryan Dice, who's over Digital Marketer, you can also join his club. He has a digital marketer subscription club, and it's very valuable.
Awesome. Yeah, I would just finish reading The Dip by Seth Godin.
Okay, I have to check that out. Was it good?
Yes, Seth Godin, brilliant mind.
Yeah, I love Seth.
Brilliant mind. Him and I forgot the other guy. Choose Yourself. Oh, James Altucher. That's a good one too. Choose Yourself, I should say. Yeah, I love reading. That's why I like bringing this out with entrepreneurs, because we have to read. We have to read. What is one of the biggest mistakes you see business owners make when it comes to social media?
So there's a few things. one of the easiest things that I tell people though is that they'll go, okay, I got about 3, and I don't want to like take over. So interrupt me.
Keep it 100
if I'm going too far. So one of the things is not using good graphics, like not using clear graphics and going cheap on it. So there are so many do-it-yourself graphic applications, which is great and it's empowering, but I think that some people don't realize how to make those do-it-yourself graphics be quality. So even if you do it yourself, like just because you do it yourself, it shouldn't look like you do it yourself. Because if you look like every single graphic that you have, you created yourself, it just devalues the brand, and people aren't willing to pay top dollar for that. It just tarnishes the brand when you use grainy pictures, when you use grainy graphics, real cheap and bootleg looking, for lack of a better word. It really hurts your brand more than helps it. So, if you're going to invest somewhere, invest in graphics. Even if you feel like you can't afford a graphic designer, then keep practicing. On Canva, they have an excellent tutorial if you follow it. And it tells you exactly what you need to do as far as like pairing up graphics and different fonts and how to make impact. Go and learn that stuff. If you are on a budget, don't let that be your excuse. Like, figure out how to get around it. But I also think though, when it comes to graphics, even if, let's say you do your own blog graphics, your own inspirational memes, that's fine. But when it comes to the point where you're having an event, you need to pay somebody for that graphic. That's the graphic that you need to absolutely pay for. When it comes to you having an event, having sometimes with a webinar, it depends on how skilled you are with the graphics. But live events definitely need a professional graphic. Books need a professional graphic. If you are actually selling a product, that needs a professional graphic. So not really caring enough about the graphic, because you have to think about it. When you're online, that graphic and the way that you present yourself, that's your packaging. When you go into the store and there are tangible products, sometimes you may pick an item up, you may pick up 2 items, and the one whose packaging looks more professional, that's the one that's going to win. And it's the same online. Like, online people don't have the opportunity to meet you in person. That's the way that they're touching you, and that's the way that they are forming their first perception of you. So you want to be on point with it. I think that's the first thing. Second thing I'm going to say about that is, people who take all of this time to create all of these graphics on their own, and then they don't even put their URL or their social media handle on the bottom of it. When you do that, what you're saying is you don't want to grow. You are assuming that everybody who sees this graphic just knows who you are. And so you're limiting yourself, because now you're thinking, okay, well, I'm posting this on my personal page. My family, my Facebook friends, they know who I am. But a lot of times those people aren't going to be your customers. The people who are going to be your customers are people you haven't even connected with. So you need to make sure that your handle is always on your graphic. If you took the time to create a graphic, whether you do it on your own or pay somebody, you don't want to invest all of that time and energy and not drive that traffic back to you somehow.
That's good. I like that. That's good. Yeah, I agree. Like you said, you put that time in, you might as well finish it off with your Twitter handle or your website, something. Don't forget about that. I like what you said about the, representing, with the pixelated pictures and images and stuff like that, and you can make a decision based on which one looks better and the way it's packaged, right? You can even look at that from a dating perspective, right? You can.
Yeah, totally.
What's your favorite social media site and why?
You know what? It's funny because as much as I love internet marketing, I'm kind of old school. I'll admit it. Facebook is my thing. I really love Facebook. I know you're really good with Twitter, Sean. Like you rocking on Twitter, and I'm on Twitter. It's cool, but Facebook is my boo. Even though new things come and go, Facebook is my jam.
That's what's up.
You know, another thing too is, and this is not an excuse, but I just try to balance because I'm a workaholic, but I'm married, I have 3 kids, and I just have made a decision that I don't want to be everywhere. Like I know new things come out all the time, but I work better when I'm really focused in on something. If I'm too spread out, then I start feeling overwhelmed, and I like to stay in my power. So, you know, I'll mess around with new technologies just because you need to have a presence everywhere. Mm-hmm. Because you know you can connect with new audience members anywhere. But I'm not trying to be like the super tech guru. You know, that's not what I'm going for. So
right.
I like to be aware and dabble on a lot of stuff, but I don't strategically. I don't try to just dominate every single social media platform.
Mm-hmm. That's wisdom. That's wisdom. I agree. I'm the same way, you know, sometimes because really before I got on Blab, people was telling me about it, and I'm like, you know, Mika Meshack, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. She texted me one day, "Hey, Sean, you heard of Blab?" I'm like, "Oh, not another site, not another one." You know, I'm just getting on Periscope, and when I found out all the good things with Blab, I said, "All right, I'm going to try this," and I love it. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, and I'm reading his comments. Yeah, he has some good tips down at the bottom. Mm-hmm. About making sure that the graphic is paid for. Absolutely. Yeah. Don't use free Google images. Go ahead and get you some royalty-free stock images.
Yes. While we here, Brandy, since we here, what image website do you use when it comes to certain images? Who do you use?
Well, I love Dollar Photo Club, mm-hmm. but I believe that they have put a hold on taking new members. Is what I've heard. Mm-hmm. So, and you know, who knows? That might be a marketing thing.
Yeah, right.
It might be a scarcity thing. I don't know. But Dollar Photo Club is my boo. I love Dollar Photo Club. But I also like Graphic Leftovers is pretty good. Mm-hmm. And Big Stock Photo.
Big Stock. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Big Stock is good. So I like those. And then now you know who has really good graphics if you want like for the ladies particularly, because I see ladies using this more like the styled stock photos. Etsy has some really cute styled stock photos.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, people are on that one. Yeah, I like Canva. They have good images too for $1. You know, they have good images.
You know what? I never use Canva's images. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. You know how you just get in a routine?
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, I guess because I'm paying Dollar Photo Club.
That's funny. Let's get into today's topic now that the listeners know a little bit more about Brandy Butler. And of course, we're talking about taking the entrepreneurial leap. So before taking that leap, what are some things that need to be in place first?
Okay, so first off, you need to get clear on what it is that you want to do. And for some people, this is gonna be easier than others. Some people, you already know exactly what it is you want to do. Like you're at work now, you may hate your job, you may not be fulfilled, you may be really skilled in the area. So maybe you are really good with web design, graphic design. Maybe you have a ministry in place that you really want to take to the marketplace. Maybe you want to work with teenage girls. Some people already know that, but other people don't know. Like you just know that I hate what I'm doing, and I know there's something more for me. So for some people, it's going to be a real easy determination on what it is you want to do. Some people, you just going to have to get moving into something and start investigating, experimenting to see what works for you. So if you are someone and you are not quite as clear about what it is that you want to do, then to start taking up hobbies or try a business. Don't worry about people saying, oh, he's everywhere, she's everywhere, she doing all type of stuff. Look, this is part of your process. Like, you got to grow and figure out what it is you want to do. So, take some time away from just working and actually pour into the activities that you enjoy doing. So you can do this by some self-reflection, some meditation. You need to pray on it. You also need to take inventory about what is it that I've always enjoyed doing. If you don't know what it is, what is it that I've always enjoyed doing? What do people always come to me for? And then you can also get feedback from other people and ask them, hey, what is it that you feel like I'm good at doing? What can you always count on me for? So you take that inventory, only use trusted sources for this. Like, don't go to Negative Nelly for this.
Right, little
because this is a very fragile process. So make sure that it's someone who's qualified to give you an objective look, and it's not gonna crush your dreams before they even get started. So be clear on that first, and then once you're clear, start taking movement towards it, like figuring out, okay, this is what I want to do. So now what? So if it's a business owner, you should get a website and start telling people what it is that you want to do. Yeah, I mean, what you do. Don't tell them what you want to do at this point. Tell them what it is that you do. So you want to start showing up the way that you want to be. And you got to do that boldly, because if you can show up boldly, people will respect it more. If you show any doubt or any uncertainty, and I'm a very positive person, but there are dream killers out there. So you just want to show up as positively and as powerfully as possible and start telling people what it is you have to offer. Now, if you aren't clear about what it is that you are going to offer, then you need to go and take a course. It's a ton of online courses out there. You might need to get a business coach, but you definitely need to have products and services in place before you leave your job. Like, you want to have that income stream, that revenue stream defined and planned out already. And I would suggest, just to make the process more smooth, would be for you to start acquiring business while you're at work. And it doesn't have to be a ton of business at first. It could just be a client here or there, but you need to start doing some market research with yourself and seeing, is this something that I really want to do? And navigating through the land and figuring out, okay, this is how I get clients, or this is who I actually want to work with. So start doing that while you have your job, because it's hard. It is hard when you don't have a job and you get out there and you just flailing in the wind. You do not want to do that. Yeah. I know a lot of people sensationalize that, like, you got to just jump off the bridge. And for some people, that is true. Some people are those type of people where you got to burn the bridge, but there's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of unnecessary pressure that goes along with it. So if you're in a space where you have a job, I would suggest, definitely bringing in some revenue with your business, at least trying to get it to the point to where you can match your salary, or at least you're close to it, or you're confident enough to know that based on this amount of sales that I've been getting on a consistent basis, I know if I was able to shift the hours from my job and pour into this more, I know, not just I think, but I know that I can generate the type of revenue that I need in order to pay my monthly expenses.
That's good. That's good. Especially, and there's a different dynamic when it comes to being married, right? Or there's a different dynamic. And Dave Ramsey, he talks about a lot about that when it comes to being married and taking that leap and stuff like that, starting your own business, because you just can't jump off the cliff and not say anything to your spouse, or, you really have to consider, their opinion, right? I mean, that's anything.
Absolutely. And one of the best ways to get, you want to know the best way to get your spouse on board with your vision and your dream?
How?
Make some money.
Say that.
Get that sale. You gotta start. You have to show them, they'll go, your spouse, a lot of times they'll go along with you. They want to ride with you. They want to support you. And it sounds like a great idea, but they may be scared too. And so the best thing that you can do in order to get them fully on board is to bring in some revenue. As a matter of fact, it's your responsibility to do that so that they can feel at ease and as comfortable with the situation as possible. And so I tell, I work with a lot of women, Sean. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes women come to me and they're like, well, you don't understand, you're married, I'm a single mom. Well, I've actually been a single mom before. So I know where you're coming from. And then also too, even though I'm married, so what? You know what I mean? Like sometimes married people actually sometimes have it harder with going forward with their vision because they actually have somebody to answer to. So I tell single women who have a vision, like, hey, don't discredit yourself for being single. Like there may be a reason why you're single. Like this may be the time for you to actually grow your business. That way, by the time your spouse comes around, you've already crossed a lot of these hurdles. You don't have anybody to answer to. You can be that much bolder with your vision. But when you're married, you absolutely have somebody that you're accountable to, and you have another layer of authority, if you will, to answer to. So it's not easy either way. So, you know, if you're somebody who you've been kind of wallowing because you're single and it's all on you, trust me, married people who want to be entrepreneurs, they have it just as hard.
That's good. I'm glad you clarified that. Thanks, Brad, for showing up and listening to Taking the Entrepreneurial Leap with special guest Brandy Butler. Thanks, Brad, for joining us. Appreciate that. Brandy, how can someone attract clients? What give us just some of your practical tips that to attract clients? Is it through?
Okay, so client attraction is really big right now. Everybody's saying client attraction. But something that I've actually been working on lately is client creation, because we're all creators. So I got this idea just listening to, I listened to a lot of different law of attraction and manifesting things. And, you know, if you are into all of that and if you're spiritual at all, you know that each of us are creators. And so we create the energy, the type of people that we attract. And so you want to work with clients who are a vibrational match for you, if you will. So what I call client creation is being able to have those tools where you can pull in the type of people who are interested in the same things that you bring to the world and the same type of energy that you bring. So by doing that, I use lead magnets often. So having free offers, giving out freebie offers, something valuable where you're teaching somebody something, and not just breezing through stuff, but really giving them something tangible where it can fill in a gap that they have. Maybe your freebie offer may be the last thing that they needed to push them into that next step. So having some valuable free content always helps with starting that conversation so that your potential clients can end up in your inbox. And then once they're in your inbox, you teach them and you also serve them, and then you also offer them any programs or products that you're selling. And then webinars, free trainings have done well for me. It's done well for me in building a community because on the free trainings, just like with this blab, like there's something about being live and people being on with you. It creates this vibe and this energy, and people can decide whether or not they like your personality enough to go the next step with you, to have you be the answer, the solution to whatever problem that they have. Live events are really great with creating a tribe. And if you can provide value during their training, then a lot of times you can gain fans for life. And those fans, whether or not they buy your product, they become brand evangelists, if you will. So those are some different ways that I do client creation. Also, consultations, like complimentary consultations are a great way too, because that way you can give somebody valuable information over the phone. Whatever, one or two problems they have, give them the solution for that. and then see if they want to go to the next level with you. And a lot of times, I pride myself on my complimentary consultations. I don't get caught up on whether or not the person is going to go to the next step with me. If I get you on the phone with me, I value your time. So I'm going to make sure that I give you the solution. Now, whether you go and implement it on your own, if I was able to help you, then, that's great. And that's more karma for me. But it's not going to be a pitch fest. I'm going to make sure that you leave that phone better than the way that you joined it.
That's good. I like that. Thank you, Stephanie, for joining us with special guest Brandy Butler. I like that. And like you said, there's something about visually, and I think that's why I like Blab. I don't know if this is where Google Plus messed up with the Hangouts. I don't know. And I love Google Plus, but I don't know what happened. But it's this interaction that, I actually get to see you, and the listeners, they get to see you as well on this live recording. And I also do that. I also do even like a pre-screening with guests. Before I have guests on, I usually do maybe a quick Skype with people, just to kind of see if you can actually, if we're compatible, if we can work together, is the chemistry there? Because it's bad when you get on the air and you're fighting with your guests and the chemistry not there. Anyway.
I see in the comments, there's a Brad Short.
Yes.
Short. Hey, Brad.
Mm-hmm. And Brandy, introduce yourself to Brad and to the new listeners once again.
Okay. So, hey, everyone who's just joining, my name is Brandy Butler. I like to call myself the Vision Activator and Message Syndicator. And basically, what that means is that I'm an online business strategist and that I help my clients to magnify their message with podcasting and with content marketing.
Yes. And I am the host, Sean Heineman. I'm the founder of Kairos Social Media Marketing. I'm all about giving tips and strategies to help grow your business online through social media. I love social media. Been in social media marketing since 2008. I actually started the social media based on me doing, I had a ministry where I was trying to grow that. And I ended up learning over time how to market through the ministry, and just learning a lot of stuff about social media. And so just doing this since 2008, and it's been a great ride. And I'm excited. I get to meet great people like Brandy and people like you as well, Brad. So thanks again for joining us. Brandy, how do you stand out in a noisy social media world? There's so much, and not in a disrespectful way, but there's so much noise on social media. One reason I like LinkedIn is because Pookie and Ray Ray isn't on LinkedIn. I like to be a little more professional, and but anyway, how do you stand out in a noisy social media world? We got all these platforms, we got Snapchat, all these platforms.
Yeah, well, so for me, that goes back to not trying to be everywhere. Like, I'm not going to, I'll know about all the places, but I'm not going to drive myself in the ground trying to keep up with everything. I'm just not going to do it. So I think you really need to figure out what's your sweet spot. So figuring out what's your sweet spot as far as platforms, and then mainly rocking with that one. And then if there's any type of integration to the other ones, and that you're not as strong, then definitely leverage the integration. So that's what I do. And then also, as far as standing out, so it is noisy, and you have to be bold in your own way, though. Like, you have to be authentic to yourself, and you have to rock whatever unique personality characteristic that you have and be confident in it. Because even though there's so much noise, when you look at it, when you actually look in your industry, there's only really a few people that are actually really doing something. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people who are masquerading and making a lot of noise, but you can, when you really start knowing what you're doing, you can see different people's platforms and know whether or not they're really walking that walk. You know what I mean? So I think the biggest thing is, if you can stay confident in yourself, if you stay confident in yourself and make sure that you are always sharing what it is that you bring to the world, whether it's a helpful article or some inspirational tip, and you're letting people know how you serve people. Because a lot of times what happens on social media is that people get caught up on this circle of influence that they built, and they start feeling like just because they have a lot of friends who are speakers, who are coaches, who are authors, who are influencers, just because they have a lot of friends that do that, that they do that. But that isn't what makes you an influencer. That's not what makes you a speaker. That's not what makes you a blogger. Doing the work is what makes you an influencer, a speaker, a blogger. So making sure that you're always doing the work and that you are getting out there and reaching and actually impacting people. To me, that's how you really dominate, is by letting your body of work show. Because if you are actually helping people, if you're actually doing speaking events, if you're actually doing trainings and you're getting footage, you get these pictures, somebody's taking video, you're getting testimonials. Now you have evidence. You have evidence of your body of work, and that's going to speak for itself. And then after a certain point, you won't even have to fight for yourself that hard anymore, because when someone asks for somebody in a particular area, they're going to start saying your name. You're going to have people who will start just recommending you without you always having to be the one fighting so hard to try to get
Love that. I love that. And I like also, and plus, when I get to land people like Brandy Butler to take some time out of her day to be a guest on Blab, that says a lot. So no, for real. I don't take this lightly. So I love that. I love that. And like you said, because even in Seth Godin book, when he talks about the dip, he talk about there's people who they love the hype, right? They love it. They start, it's easy. It's always easy to start something, but to get through the dip, and the dip is really just going through the ups and downs, the good, the bad. And some people can't handle the dip, so they get stuck and they quit. Brandy, I've seen so many people come and go since 2008. Sometimes I even wonder where these people at. Their profiles aren't even available no more, or they stop tweeting, stop blogging, Facebook, and they, stop creating content, stop helping people. Right. So, great answer. Love that.
I have one more tip too, Sean. I think that this is what's killing people, in my opinion. And this is something early on that I had to have a coach work with me through this. And now that I've gotten stronger within myself and my platform, it doesn't bother me as much. But I think that it's very deflating to a lot of newer people, or the groups, the Facebook groups. I think that a lot of times the Facebook groups, there are so many people who, we live in a time of information overload. And so there are so many people who, they'll read all of this stuff, they'll go to every webinar, but they aren't actually implementing. And so then they get in the groups and they make themselves bigger than life, and they are being negative, right? So they're being negative about different people's sales process. They always got an opinion or something. And so for some of the newer people who are coming along, it scares them. It's very intimidating, because you have these different people that are talking negatively about doing this or doing that, or everybody has something to say. And then it makes the newer people, or just the people who may not have that confidence yet, it makes them move slower because they're too worried about what other people have to say. So you have to get to a point where you cannot care what other people have to say. If you feel strongly about going towards an area, then there's a reason inside that you are driven to do that. And at some point, the only way you'll be able to move faster is by letting go of the need for approval from everyone else. And I think that in a lot of cases, depending on some of the groups you're in, I think that they can be more of a hindrance. I know there's this one group that I'm in. It's a very huge, very popular group. And I noticed that when someone posts something negative about what business owners do, everybody jumps on that thread. Everybody loves to jump on a negative thread, and then they got all of this stuff in. Well, guess what that does if someone's in that group and they're struggling in that area, and then they see this thread with all of these negative comments, that makes that person move that much slower when half of those people don't know what the heck they're doing, and the stuff that they may be knocking, the techniques that they're knocking may actually work. So having filters around what groups you're in, who's pouring into you, whose footsteps you're actually following, that helps a lot. One time I was in a group where everyone was negative. This was back, there's been a bit of a shift just in this last year where consultants, coaches, and marketers are being more celebrated. But there was a time back, more so in the lifestyle blogging days, which lifestyle blogging is still around, but just over the last year, I've seen a shift where that is more celebrated. But about a year or two ago, people not consultants and coaches. And so for me, I knew that I always wanted to be more on the business side and not just lifestyle blogging. And so there was a time where that held me back because I was always looking at how the people in this group were saying that these people, they don't have, how can they teach this, and that? They don't have 1 million followers. They don't have 100,000 followers. How are they equipped? Well, listen, you can make more money with 1,000 dedicated, targeted followers than you can with 100,000 unfocused followers. So, you can't get caught up in numbers. And so, at some point, you really just got to decide what it is you want to do and have the confidence to do that. And so if you feel like you're in a group and somebody's always posting things that makes you second guess yourself all the time, I'm not talking about checks and balances because we all need that. But if it's something that's depleting from you all the time, then you need to leave that group. And maybe you can join it later after you get stronger within what it is you're doing. But while you're building, while that baby is fragile, you need to leave that group.
Good stuff. Good nuggets. Somebody needed to hear that. Thank you, Alex, for joining us. And also thank you, Ellie. Sorry if I'm messing up your name.
He said, am I with one of your girlfriends? No, I don't think Sean White plays.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Alex. Yeah, he don't even. Yeah.
And my husband wouldn't either. We don't want those
right.
problems.
Yeah, we on the same team, empowering people. It isn't a girlfriend boyfriend thing. Anyway, and I also wanted to say before we end this show, I want to say it's great for us to get to work together because I always believe that we have to come from a place of abundance opposed to a place of scarcity. So I really appreciate you coming on, taking some time out of your day because it's bigger than me and you, and we're just trying to help people. I think at the end of the day, when people are helped, the money will come. It's about helping people, right? So yeah, thank you so much, Brandy, for taking some time out of your day. I also wanted to give everybody your contact information, how they can get in touch with Brandy Butler.
Well, okay. Can you still hear me, Sean? Okay, good. So one of the things, and I didn't bring this up, I ended up moving the location of my camera because we were having technical difficulties. So just speaking on what you were talking about with abundance. So this side of my office is like I write affirmations. I write my sales goals for the year out on here. Any weekly or monthly goals, I write them out on my chalkboard. And then this back here, this is my vision board. So maybe I'll frame it or put it on an easel or something. But right now I got it propped up. So whenever I'm like down myself or I'm not feeling the level of abundance I need to, I come back to my vision board and I remind myself of the things that I want to experience. Also on my board too, it's helpful for the affirmations. And I got this one, you can't see it at all, but I got this quote up here that says, what will you choose to believe? So I believe that what is for me is for me. I believe in what I'm doing that is going to provide for my family. I believe that what I'm doing is going to create wealth. I believe that what I'm doing is going to bless my legacy and the generations to come. So, keeping those affirmations, as we're talking about abundance, keeping those affirmations, those positive deposits. I'm telling you, I gotta have those in my life, because when you don't have those positive deposits, it's hard for you to serve from your overflow, and then that's when things dry up. I might have got off on
No, that's good stuff.
But
Somebody needed
sure
that. That's good stuff. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you. That's good. Because people will be able to see the video. They might not be able to hear it on the podcast, but they'll be able to see it in the video once it airs. Brandy, give everyone your contact information and how they can get in touch with you.
Okay, everyone. Well, I am actually in the process of publishing my first book. It's going to be called Girl Just Quit. And so that book releases in January. So you can keep in contact with me by reaching me on brandybutleronline.com. So if you head on over to brandybutleronline.com, you can sign up for any of my opt-ins. I have a couple of different helpful guides that you can join in on. And yeah, so just hang out with me over there, brandybutleronline.com. I have 2 podcasts. One of them is Girl Just Quit. Right now, it's a lot of raw footage because I'm actually using it for my book. So it's raw. It's not edited. It's not pretty. And it's just like a form of like the war of art, if you will. So it's just raw and creative. And then I have the Package Podcast and Profit podcast that Sean is going to be a guest on.
Yeah, that's what's up. I'm excited.
And I'm on social at I am Brandy Butler.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us. Thank you for listening to another episode of a Kairos Moment. You just received your Kairos Moment with special guest Brandy Butler. I ask that you all leave a rating and comment on iTunes, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. Hit the subscribe button. I recently submitted my podcast to Google Play, so look like we'll be getting, no, actually it's been accepted. Yeah, I got the email the other day, so there's no reason why you can't find the Kairos Moment podcast and subscribe and leave that rating and comment. I am your host, Sean Heineman, with special guest Brandy Butler. I will be talking to you soon next week, people. Take care.